Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm just gonna talk about what's been going on with me, because I kind of said a month or so ago that I didn't really want to talk about some drama that had been going on, but now I'm kind of okay to talk about it, and just things have been improving quite a bit lately, and I just wanted to do like a get ready with me. So let's get into it. I haven't really said what was going on with me because I was like, you know, there's just a lot of stuff happening, and I am happy to announce I am in a new job, and that is really exciting for me, you guys. So, I've been there like, let's see, since the end of January. So, I really haven't said much about my previous employer because it's just drama filled, but I wanted to talk about it because I feel like maybe if I would have heard someone tell me like, hey, these things aren't normal, or like someone talk me through it like more, maybe I would have left earlier and I wouldn't have stayed somewhere so toxic for so long. So anyway, and this isn't like a sad video because I'm actually really happy right now at my new place. So and I'm trying to look at the positive of like, I learned what I shouldn't tolerate anymore. So that's what you learn. Okay, so I can't go into all the details because it's like literally I stayed there for 11 years. You guys, there's like way too many details to even like try to account for all that time. But what I'll tell you is when you are working somewhere, you need to watch out for certain like red flags. These are my red flags. One, and this also applies to relationships, I feel like too. Gaslighting is a huge one. Like them making you think that you're the problem all the time. Like literally that's how it always was. Like I was constantly made to believe that I'm just this problem person, like they do so much for me, and like how dare I be such a problem. And now I'm like, what the heck? Like why was I putting up with that? You know what I mean? So if you're in a situation like that, what I would say is don't think it will improve. I kept thinking like, if this happens and this happens, things will get better. And you know what happened? It never did. It just kept getting worse. So you have to keep in mind what you're dealing with, you know? And you have to also look at other people's experiences as well. I feel like for some reason I thought I was different. And as I'm talking about this, it sounds like an abusive relationship situation. And in a way it kind of is. So if you're in a situation and you're like, oh, when this and this happens, things will be better, you know? Like you keep saying that to yourself and things never do. Like they always end up getting worse or they end up staying the same. Then you gotta tell yourself, who's the nutty one for staying, you know? So there's that. Constantly being told that, oh, like we do so much for you and you're the problem. Not our culture here, not our company, nothing like that we do is wrong. It's only you. Like you're the problem. You're toxic. You're a terrible person. Like, and just made you feel like you're awful and you suck. So that's not a good place to work, you guys. Like, look, learn from my life. I'm just saying. I stayed at this place for 11 years and I put up with it. So there's that. Also just being unfair in general. Like you see people that come in and they have less experience than you. They're being treated like way better. They're giving like so many benefits and you're like, what the heck? Like I worked here so long and like I never get anything that I ask for. Like no matter how much effort I put in, no matter how much good work I do, like nothing ever happens positive for me. Like what the heck? Like how is that? You know what I mean? Like I never get treated the same way. Like it doesn't have to be treated better or anything else. It just has to be treated equal. And you figure out, you're like, what the heck? Why am I never getting treated equally? So that's a sign that there's just unequal treatment. That's also like extremely unequal treatment, I would say. Like, not like, oh, in this case, we did this because of this one thing. Like, on an average, certain people just being treated better in general. And different standards for different people. Things. Oh, and I was telling you too, things that happen to other people, realize they could happen to you, okay? Don't just think that you're special, they're gonna treat you better, or anything like that. That's not how it is. I used to think, oh my gosh, like, this happened to that person, but that was a different situation. Like, they told me this. Oh no, that would never happen to me because I'm so loyal and I do everything right and yada yada yada. No, you're replaceable just like that person, and you're made to be treated crappily just as well. So don't think that's the situation. So I learned that the hard way as well. So or just being generally made to feel like you don't belong there, like that is also a big sign. So a lot of these things started happening at my previous employer. Like, you know, it's kind of like one thing happens, one thing happens, one thing happens. And then, you know, you like give so much and never makes any difference. So then you're like, why the hell am I giving so much and it never makes a difference? Like, what, why keep giving so much, you know? And then eventually, and a bunch of the other people there too, they've already figured out the system. They're like, why work hard? Like, I shouldn't have to, because they're not going to appreciate it anyway. So most of the people were being lazy there because they're like, why would I want to work hard? Because they don't appreciate you anyway. So the people that do work hard, you're getting just stepped on constantly and then told it's never good enough. But the people that are lazy just get away with everything. So, you know, that's basically in essence what was happening. It was just really toxic work environment. And it's crazy now because I've only been out of there for like 2 months, like about 2 months now. And it feels like completely life altering. Like, and I don't mean that to be dramatic or anything like that. It's just like, I don't have this weird bundle of stress that I used to have. Like, it's just this toxic, like, I feel like it was like a toxic substance running through my body at all times, which was stress. But at the time, I was just kind of like, this is my life. This is how I live. And I just was used to it, you know? And now I'm like, I could have been living better this whole time. I could have been less stressed this whole time. It's just such a different situation, you know? And the thing is too, like, my new employer, like, there are times that we're short-staffed and stuff, but I don't feel put down. I don't feel like I don't belong. I don't feel that same energy. Like, it's not even the job itself. Like, I feel like a lot of places right now, ophthalmology related and others, are actually like pretty short-staffed, but it's really in the way that the company handles that. You know, are they going to work you till you're dead? You know, are you stressed, but your workers, you know, your employer sees it and they really appreciate you? Are they trying to, like, at least say they appreciate you or do something to appreciate you, versus like, hey, you know, you did X, Y, and Z today, but that's not good enough. How dare you, like, not be better than you are? Because that's how it was before. So, or like, you're always looking over your shoulder, like waiting for someone to like be like on your back about something. And it's just such a difference. Like, that's literally what I was going through for like 11 years. Like, I felt like constantly someone was like looking over my shoulder, like trying to find something that I was doing wrong. So I'm just telling you guys, if you're in that situation and you're in ophthalmology or any field really, just don't live like that. Like, you don't know how bad it is until you get out of it. And then you're like, oh my God. And that's with relationships. Like I said, relationships too. It's like almost the same situation, because it felt like I was literally in a domestic violence situation. I wasn't being beat, but I felt like I was emotionally abused. And then when I went to my new employer, like, they were treating me well, and it was almost suspicious, because I was like, wow, they treat me nice. Like, this just seems so out of character, like, for where I've been, you know? Like, it just felt out of hand. Like, I was like, I don't know how to even react, because I'm so used to being, like, beat up, you know? So it can be better. And I don't feel like it was just my personal experience. It was like literally everyone who left this place felt immediately better and had a better life. But, you know, I'm dumb. In the back of the day, I was just like, I'm doing all this stuff and I'm gonna be like this rock star person that works here and just does everything and everyone's gonna love me and it's gonna be great. And like literally when I left, no one even cared. Like honestly, no one cared that I left. It was heartbreaking. It was like the fact that I've given you guys 11 years and like literally people were like, okay, bye. Like one doctor that was there literally was like, sent me an email the week I put in my notice and was like, well, don't think this is an idea. Like you can slack off and stuff because you're putting in your notice. Like you need to work just as hard and the company's moving on without you. So basically like, screw you. So, in essence, that's the kind of, you know, love I got from them. So it was great. And the people that did care were like the people that are fellow employees, but you know what I mean? And I guess it's not like it would have made a difference if they said anything, but at least I would have felt like it wasn't a waste of time for that whole period of time. But what are you gonna do about it? So anyway, but the positive part is I'm not in that situation anymore. And I go to work and I do my job and I feel like I just do that. And like, if it's like, I have normal work stress, everything's not perfect, like by any means, like everyone has a little bit of work stress. Cause I mean, especially when you work with patients and things, it's not going to be stress-free by any stretch of the imagination, but it's things that are manageable for me now. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this patient was exceptionally difficult, but you know, I'm working through it. It's like a troubleshooting situation. You know, it's nothing I can't handle. Like versus before, if you had a difficult patient on top of dealing with all the work drama, it would just set you off. You'd be like, I can't handle anymore. Like, I can't handle a difficult patient because I already have difficult, just being here is difficult, you know? Sorry, I put a lot of blush on, but I'm just feeling blushy today. So yeah, but sorry, this is kind of like a weird rant, but I figured I would just tell you guys what's going on because I was like, oh, I alluded to it like a few videos ago, and the people that know me personally kind of know what's going on. But if you're just watching my channel, then you're like, why are you like gone for so long? And it's not that I don't know, like initially I was kind of tired because I started working more days. Like I'm working 5 days a week now versus 4. I had the 4 initially because I was like thinking, that's the thing, I stopped working 5 days a week in my old job because I was like, maybe that's the issue. I just need more time off and then that would help the situation. But it ended up just stirring up more drama at that place. So I was like, oh my gosh, I should have just quit and cut my losses or whatever, because 5 days versus 4 days, like I thought it'd make this huge difference. And in my mind, initially it did. Like I was like, oh, I'm there less, it's gonna be great. And then I just they started treating me like so much more trash, like when I did that. So I was like, what the heck? I might as well like just go. Like if I have to work 5 days a week again, like it is what it is, you know? But at least my mind's not in the gutter every day. So I don't know. It's just, and I also feel like too, I don't feel like I'm not like bothering people all the time with my work drama. I feel like I would get out of work and I would be so stressed and I would be like, I don't have anybody to talk to about this. Like, and then like every time I talk to my friends, every time I talk to like my husband, it was about this. And like, this is really going to be kind of the last little thing I'd say about it, you know, unless somebody brings it up and they're like, oh, should I work at said place? And I'll be like, no, throw yourself off a cliff first, because that would be better. But, you know, at the same time, you know, but I won't go out like seeking to tell people like, oh my God, because it, you know, it's just not a good memory anymore, you know? And I want to get over it. I feel like I'm almost needing a support group at this point, for said situation, because it's just tragic. But anyway, what else was I gonna say? I'm just trying to clean up my brow because I kind of messed that up. But yeah, oh, that was the thing. I was burdening my family all the time with it too. I was like, I feel like I'm bothering them all the time because I'm like, I've got to tell somebody about how horrible things are and how much I hate it there. And like, this is what happened to me. Can you believe that? Like people just didn't even believe what was going on. And it was just all the time like that. And I'm like, I don't want to come home and bring this awful burden to people all the time. Be like, oh my God, my life's terrible. Let me tell you all about it. So I'm happy that I'm not in that situation anymore because I don't have to feel like that. And when I come home, I'm just literally like, I have nothing to say. Things went well today. You know, maybe I had one difficult patient, but nothing to write home about, you know, just like a normal thing. Oh, I forgot to put primer on my lid. But yeah, nothing super crazy to write about or nothing super crazy to talk about. So that's what is interesting. Also, it's weird too that working at this new place, like, because I have to, I mean, some of this is kind of laziness, but a good way. I also have to park pretty far, like in my mind, you know, because I have to park in a parking garage and then I have to walk every day. And I have to like walk up a flight of stairs and it's a whole thing. So I'm getting a little bit more exercise than I would have normally, just baseline exercise. So with that going on, that's been kind of nice. And the other thing is, because I have to get all the way in my car and it's a whole thing, like, I've been packing my lunch every day because I'm, like, for the most part, because I'm like, you know what, like, I don't feel like going all the way back to my car. And then if I went out, I'd have to buy something. So I'm kind of, like, automatically helping myself out with not buying trash because I'm like, oh, I can just, like, literally pack my lunch every day and then I can kind of control what I'm eating and stuff like that. Now, I might not be eating perfectly, but at least it's something I can kind of control, you know? So that's nice. And then if I do eat out, it's like really only at the cafeteria, which I try not to do very much. It's not super expensive. It's just, I don't know. Like, I'm already in a kick of like, let's try to save money. So there's that. But for the last couple weeks, well, actually for longer than that, I've had some interesting developments happen in my life that are positive. That another thing I feel like I can't really go into exactly right now, but it's a positive, and I think that it's a development from quitting my job. So, at the other place, because obviously I'm not stressed all the time. So that's a positive. But I'm kind of waiting to, you know, like announce what's going on or like, you know, get into more details because, you know, it's just not the right time exactly, but just things are positive and they're going happy. And I've just been a little tired. That's the only annoying part. So I've been like kind of super tired lately. But I'm just plugging away. And that's why I haven't really been working on my channel. The only thing I did do is last week I did do like a kind of like a clean out of my freezers and stuff. And I think I might make a video on like trying to survive on all that stuff because like that sounds weird, but about trying not to basically shop and then just try to live off the food and like kind of see what kind of recipes I can come up with. I mean, it's not going to be that difficult because I've kind of overshopped on food lately, like stocked up on meats and things when they were cheap. So I have a lot of means to survive on. So it shouldn't really be that difficult, but I want to see kind of how long I can go without buying groceries. So that's going to be the goal. But today's video is just kind of a gab video. See what's going on. And again, if you're in that situation or, you know, I feel like to my ophthalmology peeps, but it could be to really anyone that's working nowadays, just don't put up with it, you know? Like, you are more valuable than they are making you believe, and you don't need to be there. You don't need to put up with it. So that's my story of the day. And the thing is now I'm like, oh, people actually appreciate me. Like, what is this? Like, I don't even know how to react, honestly, because I'm like, I have not been appreciated for so long that it's like having to readapt my whole feelings about things. You know, like I have to get my confidence back about like, oh, I do know what I'm doing and I am a bad bee, you know what I mean? Like for a while you're like, didn't feel like that. So I'm doing a really simple look today because we're just doing videos and stuff. So I don't know. I put that new vision board out and I really feel like that made a difference. I don't know. Maybe I was just thinking it did. I feel like when I made it, I was like, oh, I'm going to do all these things, and things have just been progressing really well so far, so. I'm back again. I just cut off on me doing my eyeshadow because it was super boring. I was like not saying anything, and I'm just adding a little highlighter here and there just to kind of bump things up a little bit. But yeah, that was the main premise of my video today. But me doing my makeup is, I didn't want to like talk too long, but I'm still going to talk too long. That's just my life. Anyway, so let's work on some lippies. I want to do something kind of natural, today. What do I got here? Oh, I got this peach. I'm like, do I want to do peach? No, I think that's, I mean, that's okay. So I'm going to find a brown pencil to line. I don't know if you guys have been watching or if you've watched on Hulu the whole Pamela Anderson and Tommy thing. That was really weird, but good. Like, oh my gosh, it was so, like, initially, like, I was like, okay, so into it, and then it got to him, like, with his member talking, like, I'm trying to be nice, with his member talking to him, and I was like, I'm over it. But the rest, I mean, the series was interesting, but I was just kind of like, excuse me, like, Hulu, y'all thought that was okay? I'm just saying, like, but anyway, so that was weird. If you're watching out, that was like, I think episode 2 or 3. Anyway, so I thought that was a little strange, but, yeah, otherwise it was really good. Anybody watching anything really good and interesting right now? Let me know in the comments. Or if you have any comments about what I said earlier about not being in toxic work environments, feel free to sound off. It's just not, it's not it. It's 2022. We're not about that anymore. Shouldn't have been about it to begin with, but, you know, here we are. I'm gonna put, like, a little bit underneath. I've heard that kind of creates more of a shadow, and then it makes it look a little bigger. Because I'm never getting lip injections, y'all. Like, don't let me do that, because I feel like I would be the one that gets butchered. Like, that's just how I feel. But, and also my husband's like, ew, big lips are weird. I know, y'all. He thinks that. He doesn't even like me doing big lips in my makeup, but I'm like, who cares? You'll get over it. Anyway, so it already looks a little crazy. And then I'm gonna put this over top. I'm gonna go with the, this one's just peachy. I don't know if it's gonna be the exact vibe I'm looking for, but, oops. But here we are, we're already on it, you know? There we go, from the crackies. Oh, I'm so chapped. Boom. I'm a little, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of matching my shirt a little bit per the camera, but it is what it is. We're there. But that's the vibe today. Sorry, my lipstick is, I don't know. I don't know about the lipstick. I don't know, but it's already on, and do I feel like taking it off? I don't really know. I don't know how I feel about it. Anyway, but that's what's been going on in the background here. So in case you're wondering, like, oh yeah, she mentioned something and never talked about it again. That's why I was kind of just letting the dust settle, so to speak, on my new job and leaving my old one before I felt like really comfortable saying stuff about it. But it is what it is. We're over it. 2022 is starting out really well so far. So I was kind of questioning it a little bit too, because like when I went to the drug test for my new job, like my car got ran into and the whole side's all messed up. So I was like, oh my God, this is like an omen for my new year. It's going to be a bad year. Like I was already like expecting it to be a crap year. And that was like, all right, that's not really perfect. Oh, I didn't even put mascara on, you guys. Oh my God, this is how out of it I am. I'm like, whoa. But yeah, like my car got hit right away. So I was like, this is so terrible. Like, oh my gosh, this year's already starting out so crappy. Like this is just an omen for the whole year. And then, I don't know. And things have turned around. That's the only really bad thing so far that has happened. So let's hope nothing else happens. But But yeah, it's like my vision board's going well, I feel like. I've been increasing my water intake, which is what I was saying I wanted to do. I don't feel like I've eaten out as much. So a little bit recently I got a little out of hand just because I was like really into Philly steaks, and it's become a problem. Like I can't have them anymore. So like I just can't be trusted around them. I love them too much. But that's a side issue. But so I need to eat at home again. But for a couple weekends now I'm like, I need a Philly steak. I have to have it. If I don't have it, I'll die. But I think I'm back to normal now, so. Anyway, that's looking better. I was like, what am I missing? What am I missing here? You can tell how much I put on makeup nowadays. I was putting on makeup at my new job like every day. And then I went through this period, like, they're gonna think that I wear makeup all the time. Like, how do I get out of it now? Like, how do you just stop? Like, without them being like, what happened to you? Like, why do you look like that? So I had to like, literally, you guys don't even know. I don't know if I'm just weird, but I like literally was weaning myself off of it. I was like, I don't want to have to be expected to wear makeup every day. Oh my gosh, I'm making such a mess over here. So I was like wearing a little bit less every day. And like transition back to my normal face because I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna maintain that. Like most of the time I don't wear makeup. Like I love makeup and I have fun with it, but I'm like, when you have to wake up early in the morning, is like, I'm not a morning person. So me putting that on to begin with is already kind of a trip. But yeah, it's just a funny story. I was just like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna show up without makeup? Like they're gonna have expected me to wear, I mean, they see me wear it this whole time, like, and then they just don't anymore. I'm like, what happened to you? Why you look busted and crusted, you know? Okay. All right, well, now that I've made a large error on my face, great. Anyway, I guess hopefully you guys learned something from my video today. If nothing else, like, just got to gap for a little bit. Watch me put on some very simple makeup that's not at all difficult. And that's gross, but I gotta clean up under here. Oh my gosh, I don't have a Q-tip right now in my hand, so I'm like trying to clean it with this little sponge here. Okay, that's better. All right, well, I hope you guys learned something from my video today, and learn from my mistakes. Don't spend 11 years somewhere you're not appreciated. You're a bad bee, and don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. So just remember that. And sound off in the comments if you guys are going through a similar experience. I'm happy to share any words of wisdom I can other than what I've shared in this video. But yeah, all right, bye you guys.